How you doing tonight, fam? Yeah, I know. It's like one thing after another now. COVID, George, and an insane cop. This is going to be a year we never, ever forget. If only this is why I'm saying, if at the end of 2020, going into 2021, if we win the Super Bowl and everything else falls into place, we will have suffered this year, only to see the next year just going up, and up above the level. You ever learn how about the? I think parents try to teach you that too. They instill upon you. There's always the storm before the. It's always bad before it gets better, right? So, I figure, we got good things coming up ahead, right? Because we're going through terrible things right now. So I said, okay, I'll see if anybody feels like talking football, fam. Man. Hey, I'm looking at news tidbits. So as far as the 49ers, D. Ford sees unfair advantage if only some NFL teams have fans. Now, have you thought about that? Because I thought... Wait, let me go with D said. Because if the NFL relies on local jurisdictions to determine the extent to which fans can occupy stadiums this season, it could create a disparity of home field advantages throughout the league. So I figured whatever was decided, everybody had to go by the same rule. Are they going to leave this up to individual teams? Good God, that sheds a whole new light on what I was thinking. Ford said... this past Friday in a video call with Bay Area reporters, quote, "At the end of the day, the true advantage is just the energy at home. I definitely feel it's an advantage or disadvantage if you don't have it. And I guess I do feel like it would be a little unfair," unquote. The start of the NFL regular season is more than 3 months away, and there's no telling at this point what will be advisable due to uncertain nature of the coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19. Some states may allow full stadiums. Really? There's not going to be a widespread understanding with the NFL? Others might insist on social distancing measures. Okay, this is what it comes down to. If your state or wherever you are, if you're fortunate enough to, if you got systems set up to keep people safe, you'll have fans. If not, you got quiet. Oh. And other teams might be in locations where large gatherings still are not allowed when the season is scheduled to kick off in September. That's us. Santa Clara's already made it clear. Y'all ain't playing no ball up in here. In fact, not until November, right? I don't think not even our fans not allowed in Santa Clara. I don't think they're going to let players play either. And that's in November when they allow even that. And Ford said about that this, quote, "It would definitely be, in my opinion, an unfair advantage if some teams have fans and some don't. On the offensive side, you're dealing with crowd noise, and on the defensive side, it's more so snap count chaos," unquote. And Ford said he had also heard of the possibility that some teams might pipe in crowd noise in an attempt to artificially create atmosphere. How wrong is this? So we go into a stadium, and the dude has got a button and volume control. Now he can actually create the atmosphere he wants. I mean, every time the 49ers get into a certain position or defense or offense, he turns that noise up sky high. And, of course, when his team's in an advantageous position, he kills the volume. What is that? Then you don't have any opposing fans out there. So, because you go to a lot of stadiums, especially the 49ers, we go a lot of stadiums, we own the place. Yeah, it's not like they have fans out there that are out yelling at our people. So we come into a stadium where the guy's out controlling a button, and of course he's not going to give us any advantages. Oh, this has got to be corrected. They got to know they can't do this. And Santa Clara's got to understand, listen, you guys got to give up your little war with Jed. If indeed everybody's allowing fans in, you got to allow our people in too. They got to make arrangements. They can do it. There's all kind of things being done now. They've already got that model in Miami to show you how to do it. So, they got to just put the work in and get that place ready. They got 3 months to get it ready to make it safe for people to come in and watch football and make a lot of noise. It's part of it because it's going to be imperative to the 49ers' chances to not give other teams these huge advantages by some guy in a volume control and speakers strategically. And they're going to put speakers in strategically put places, or maybe even maneuverable. They move them around, right? So if Jimmy's out there trying to call a signal, they got a speaker aimed. They can move it around, aimed right at the 49ers offense of huddle. Oh, a lot of script. See, I can think of evil ways to destroy another team with crowd noise. Of course, I do sound and light, so I know how to do that work anyway. But the thing is, there's ways you can just ruin things for the other team. So they got to work that out. Man, that really does bother me. Let me get right to the headline, though. 49ers 2020 offense will look significantly different in 2020. Every DC in the NFL fam knows if Coach Shanahan finally assembles an offense fully capable of executing his outrageous offensive designs and play calling, there's little that can be done to stop Shanahan. He's already shown that before. I like to fall back on the fact that Shanahan with the Atlanta Falcons has went down in the history books as having the 7th most productive offense in NFL history. And I think the 49ers, Shanahan could take that up a notch or two. Can you imagine the fifth most productive offense in NFL history being the 49ers? And you got a defense to back it up. This is why I say, next year, if that is the case, ain't no doubt about my mind that the 49ers will indeed dominate the Super Bowl. I ain't talking about the season. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. So all those people out there talking about, the 49ers might get 10-6. Yeah, you get ready for your 10-6. In this upcoming season, Shanahan may finally have all of his hand-picked components to motor his big red machine. Big red and gold machine. In fact, Kyle Shanahan's offense never was at full strength in his first 3 seasons as 49ers head coach. Now, there's people out there that think that we're a defensive team. That isn't what we were supposed to be. This team was supposed to be strictly a Kyle Shanahan, kill you, score enough points to keep up. But see, this thing, even when Shanahan's offense ranked second in points scored and 4th in total yards last season, it was accomplished without 3 components who were expected to be major factors on the offense. This just goes to show you how good Shanahan is. Here's a guy that can operate with it. He's like the MacGyver of football. He hasn't got all he needs, but he could just sort of put things together and make it work. And it did. The 49ers had situational roles and vision for Jerick McKinnon, Drake Taylor, and Jalen Hurd. So for if you're thinking, well, we should have got rid of this guy and this guy, no. Shanahan went out and got these guys for a reason. You have to trust that he knows what he's doing when it comes to putting together an offense. There is no doubt about it. If he says this guy is going to work, most likely, now he has failed on a couple of times. Dante Pettis. Also, the Utah running back, Joe Williams. I know. Well, there's names I could keep going, huh? We're still waiting for Beathard. Okay, never mind. Injuries kept each of those players off the field for the entire 2019 season. Now, those players could give Shanahan and Jimmy G a lot more options, especially on 3rd downs and the team's 2-minute offense. An offense that currently needs only a tweak could get a major boost if indeed McKinnon, Taylor, and Hurd are healthy and what they appear to be. Now, we already know Trent Taylor. He's already proven it. If he's healthy, he's straight money. The problem is, can he stay healthy? I know. Enter a guy named what? Fink? Jeff McKinnon missed his first season with the 49ers when he sustained an ACL one week before the start of the season, and you're aware of that. And last year, you're also aware of the fact that the season ended before it started when the surgery from his graft did not fill in properly. At least half of us wanted him cut, but what that group of folks are ignoring is this. McKinnon was an elite route runner before all of his knee issues. Later for that, what he did in Minnesota. The Minnesota offensive coordinator can't hold Kyle Shanahan's jock. He didn't know how to use him. Shanny does. If McKinnon, and I've seen him run them routes too. I've seen him embarrass a couple players in some footage with Minnesota. Shanahan made it a priority to sign him as a free agent in 2018 because he envisioned flooding the middle of the field with Jarek, George, and a slot receiver, and fullback Kyle Juszczyk. See, if you know Kyle Shanahan's system, and you should by now, if you see what he's doing, if you can just, it's hard to comprehend. If you watch what he's doing, you can see where certain kind of personnel would completely render a defense helpless. And that's what Kyle Shanahan's trying to get to. Shanahan felt those players would cause all kinds of matchup problems. McKinnon looks good in his workouts, and the 49ers are cautiously optimistic he will finally provide what they were expecting when they signed him 2 years ago. Finally! Raheem Mostert. Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida were good backs, but Mostert stands out. Mostert was a great back. But none had the route running skills of McKinnon, which I was confused by because I thought that's what Tevin was pretty good at. Apparently, we've not seen it yet, so we've got no proof to say that McKinnon ain't no good. Apparently, Jerick McKinnon is way better. So, the 49ers' best route runner out of the backfield last season was Jeff Wilson, and he did a great job, didn't he? His ability to juke a defender in man coverage was the reason Shanahan called upon Wilson to run the route that actually won the game versus the AZ Cardinals. And didn't he do that well? How did he get wide open? I'm talking there wasn't a Cardinal nowhere. If I see McKinnon do that one time better than that, I'm going to be all over those folks who said, get rid of McKinnon. We don't need him. Yeah, no, we don't need you to keep talking. Stop it. Kyle knows what he's doing. Let him have that dude. If he wants him, he's got him. Late in the first half of the Super Bowl, Wilson went in for the same reason and caught a 20-yard pass. If anything, Kyle didn't use Wilson enough. He didn't use Wilson enough, apparently. He did definitely not use Debo enough for my liking. Mostert is working hard on his route running, and he likely will make improvements in that area as well, as Kyle is probably telling these guys, look, I run an offense that I need guys that can get loose quick. I'll get the ball in your hands and let you do your thing. This is why Jerick McKinnon, Trent Taylor, George Kittle's been doing it for a long time. You know, this is I see what Shanahan's doing. McKinnon is not likely to be considered for every down duties anyway, but he will have opportunities to make a considerable impact on third downs. This is what's going to be interesting to see. You're going to see a whole different, it's going to be a facelift for the 49ers offense. We need guys that can get open quickly. I don't want Jimmy standing back there waiting for the defensive line to bust through the offensive line, waiting for routes to get. That's old-fashioned football. I want Shanny football. Quick release, hit that dude, let him destroy. Trent Taylor, as I just mentioned, Taylor had an impressive rookie season. He had Kittel tied for third on the team with 43 receptions apiece that year. But TT had a difficult time bouncing back in 2018 after off-season back surgery, which screwed him up year before last. And then he had that setback with his feet last year, that Jones fracture. Taylor hopes to be ready for when the season 49ers get on the field to begin preparations for the 2020 season. They say he's fine, and he's ready to roll. He's looking like Trent Taylor right now. Taylor's best attribute is his ability to get open quickly with Shanahan's favorite route. You see what I'm saying? I don't want you out there taking 5 minutes to lose your defender. Get rid of the ball quick. Get him out in a place where he can destroy linebackers, and that's what Shanahan's offense is all about. Depending on the matchup, JG can lock into Taylor and rely on him to get open in order to convert third downs on what Shanahan calls choice routes. So if Debo or anybody else is downfield a little deeper and they can't get free as quickly as they need to, you got a defensive pass rush that's beating our offensive line. Now you got the safety net, the valve that all you got to do is psst, lets all the pressure off of that D. Now we can rock and roll. And depending on the matchup, I say JJ can lock into Taylor and rely on him to get open in order to convert third downs, as I mentioned. Emmanuel Sanders was the 49ers' main slot receiver after coming to the team midseason training. He did a great job with that. And you saw him and Jimmy pretty much, they were speaking the same language after the first game. because that's because Emmanuel Sanders is very good at what he does. This is why I knew right at that point, oh, man, everybody's blaming. Gee, it's not completely, it is some of his fault, but he needs a receiver like Sanders. He needs a couple of those. And Debo started coming on later in the season, and all of a sudden we were clicking. And Kendrick Bourne, as he was used, all of a sudden Kendrick, same thing. But Kendrick's one of the fastest guys in and out of a route that we have, as you know, which is perfect for Shanahan's offense, which is why I doubt he could. People argue, Kendrick going to get cut this year. I don't. Jawan Jennings, he may be good at what he does, but for Shanahan's offense, Jennings is not going to be better than Kendrick. I don't think so. But the slot was never a big part of the 49ers offense. The 49ers had big hopes for Taylor last season. It is believed that nobody on the team would benefit as much from Wes Welker's coaching as Mrs. Taylor's baby boy, Trent. Wide receiver Jalen Hurd also. Shanahan, this is part 3 of the monster. Shanahan likes some players for specific roles. With Hurd, Shanahan sees a player who can be used in a number of different ways. Hurd can line up outside. He can line up in the slot, at tight end, or in the backfield. Good God almighty, that boy's got plenty of skills. His resume, boy, you look at it once, you say, you're hired. I don't even, if you can do all this, you got the job. He could be a bigger, faster version of Juice when you think about it. Juice, Hurd, on the field at the same time? What's a DC going to do? Taylor, McKinnon, 2 more options. What you going to do, DC? Jimmy G's going to have a split second to do whatever he wants to do because all these guys are quick. Hurd, I tell you, Hurd's versatility could be especially useful for 49ers with their 2-minute drill when the opposing defense is unable to make substitutions after every play, too. He could be moved around the formation to create and exploit certain matchups Shanahan is looking to exploit. John Lynch said last month that Hurd had been cleared for on-field work after he was forced to sit out his rookie season due to that stress fracture in his back. Hurd is not likely to post huge numbers, but he has the potential to play that vital role in Shanahan's doomsday offense. I'm telling you, man, if all these guys are ready to go and are healthy, you talk about scoring in bunches and with ease, because now you can't pick your poison. Your poison is all around you. There's no DC in the league that can stop Shanahan with all these kind of weapons, especially if they're as effective as he plans on them being. I like this. And then he's got that all-star defense to back it up. Oh, God, yes. Oh, Matty S.A. from Bend, Oregon. What's going on, Matt? D'Angelo Carter, we need to resign George Kittle. Amen to that. You know what? Don't let the media fool you. 49ers are not going to let George Kittle go. Now, George Kittle's asking for a lot of money, but I don't think he's going as bad. I think everybody said the same thing about DeForest Buckner, right? Not this time. Do you realize the hit the offense would take if George Kittle was gone? He does too many things. George Kittle is a part of the run game, a very integral part of the run game. We all know what he does in passing game. George is just way too important. You can't let him go. It's too much of an impact on the offense. I like Hurd. I don't know if he could be another George Kittle, though. Okay. Hey. The Ronbo Sports Report 11, he calls me that. What's up, bro? The world lost their mind. Pray for everyone. I know. Boy, that's the best way to put it. The world has lost its mind. It's my 22nd birthday, praying for all y'all. And we'll do that birthday song here. And also, let me see. Ryan Bowes, if Kittle was wide receiver money, then that's what he should get. See, that's the thing. George Kittle is, honestly, you put it all together, he's a tight end and a wide receiver and an offensive lineman, one of the best we got, right? If you paid George Kittle $20 million, it would be fair. He's doing 3 jobs. He's a tight end. And I call him an offensive lineman because he was the best blockers on the line. He's a wide receiver. Maybe the best we got. So when people say, well, George's going to ask for more money than $15 million a year, we need to trade him and give somebody else the best thing they can possibly get. Because quite frankly, I got to tell you, there are some teams that will pay him $20 million. I got a feeling. I'm hoping the 49ers get somewhere between 15 and 17, and he takes it. I ain't going to lie. But we need to be able to afford to play other players. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. Parag! And DJ Malone says, what's up? Hey, what's up, fam? I'm currently drinking a Tokyo tea. I forgot what's even in that drink. I have not heard that in a long time. Mr. Fang, enjoy DJ Malone. Mr. Fang 33333. What's up, fam? I haven't seen you in a while. McKinnon is an OW similar to Kamara and McCaffrey. Another OW to join Juice, Kittel, and Hurd. And Debo, full of OW. Jimmy just has to be above average to win a Super Bowl. No, when you got all those kind of weapons, Jimmy doesn't have to be above average. All he has to do is be Jimmy. Be that 2017 Jimmy. And ain't nothing nobody can do. Because a lot of people forget how good Jimmy G was in 2017 until he started learning the intricacies and nuances of Kyle Shanahan's offense, which nobody could understand or appreciate. He's still the same high-caliber quarterback. He's got it now. I think he really does have it now. And if the offensive line works, I got a feeling, Jimmy G, top 5 QB. Easily. Especially with the weaponry Kyle's going to line up around. You can't fail with Shanahan as long as you know what you're doing. I think he knows what he's doing. Especially when you got his talent. Justin! Birthday boy. Is that you, Justin?
It's, I want to say, first my birthday, 22nd birthday. It's another year. Blessed to be alive,
Yeah. It really is now, when you think about it.
I first want to start by saying, I hope everyone is self-quarantined and being home and being safe. I understand that everybody is frustrated with the world right now. But please be courteous and respectful to everyone, and please be safe, because this year already sucks enough.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure everybody's family wants everybody to go home safely. So please, if you're gonna, oh my God, just be safe. That's just the most important thing. Everyone, just be safe. Your life matters. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, so make good judgment calls at all times. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, of course.
Agreed. Anyway,
I'm working 40 hours a week. That's why I'm barely coming in now, and 40 hours a week, man, that's a lot of hours.
Is that Justin? Were you working sort of part time? Are you still a student as well?
I'm a student as well. So
40 hours
even more challenging.
Good God, that is tough.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right.
Yeah.
Hang in there. You get it done.
Yeah.
That kind of drive.
Yeah.
Go, Justin. Hey, Justin.
Well,
let me.
I want to first address this. I want to first address this George Kittle. There's no way in hell. So I'm predicting, and I know this is no Madden. This is not Madden. But I'm predicting that we are probably going to move D Ford. Because Joey Bosa has expressed interest in joining the 49ers. We are probably going to trade Ford if he comes available, because I know Lynch. He's smart. Chargers are not so smart. They're really not that smart. They really are not that smart at all. So they'll give of Joey Bosa oh yeah, you can go someone there. Just give us 2 first-round picks and D Ford and we're good. And that's the way it's gonna go. I'm pretty sure. I
gotta tell you though, Justin. I really wish that were possible. But where are you gonna get the funding to pay Joey? His contract expires.
I know that's the thing, and I'm hoping that
you still got to pay Trent Williams. You got George. Yeah, their contract's expiring soon. It's really tough to take on another huge contract.
I just think durability is important, and I don't think Ford. He said he got the surgery, but he's been hurt every year. Every year he's been since he started with the league. He's been hurt every year. It was a risk bringing him in, and he did phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. He did phenomenal. He should have been shut down week 2 when he injured that hammy, but he still kept going strong. So I have much respect for him. But the important thing in this league is durability, and Ford doesn't really have that durability. So you will probably see what we could get for him if that's the case.
And you're right. The 49ers could get out of that contract next year because it'll only be a $4 million hit, from what I understand. But
Yep.
D's got to, we're going to see. He's had a procedure on his knee. They cleaned it up. He feels great right now. And he could be straight nails next year. There's just no way to know just yet. You got to wait and see. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens.
And I think Kittel will get that contract. Kittel is not only a receiver; he's a tight end. He's an offensive lineman. He's a run blocker. He's a
comedian too.
He doesn't complain at all. He's like, you know what? Don't give me the ball. If I don't get the ball this game, okay, as long as we're winning, So Kittle is one of those stand-up dudes that everyone says, "Oh, we're probably no." And Grant Cohen, you're a dummy, dude. You're really a dummy, and that's me being nice. Okay, me the dummy is just being nice because
I'll tell you what,
we're not trading George Kittle.
Also, what are you thinking about? Now you got that. I call it the three-headed monster. We can think of a better name than that because McKinnon, Hurd, and Taylor, if they're all healthy, do you realize that adds a whole nother dimension to the 49ers offense from what we seen last year? Because all that blame that was placed on Jimmy last year, some of it was his fault, but some of it was inadequate arsenal. Well, you bring those three guys back.
I think the perfect name for the three-headed monster is Ghidorah. Ghidorah from Godzilla. If anybody remembers Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon from Ghidorah.
Was that dragon's name?
Yep.
Godzilla still kicked his
King
butt.
Ghidorah. Yep. King Ghidorah. There you go. But no, I think, a lot of people Steve, can you imagine if Steve Young was playing quarterback right now? Can you imagine how much hate he would get? Oh my God. He would be crucified. Would be crucified.
You take Rice.
The same heat that
you take Rice and Taylor away from him and just leave him with, say, just still with Taylor and maybe one other and an auxiliary wide receiver. How would he look? You need to have talent on both sides of the ball as far as the quarterback and his receivers.
Yeah. And for a lot of years, Steve Young, he kind of missed. He kind of messed up a little bit. The NFC Championship against the Cowboys, we went home. It's just one of those things where everybody because he won a Super Bowl, they're like, yeah, he's a winner, but they don't give the same thing to. And no way I'm comparing Young to Garoppolo, but I'm saying Garoppolo on his first year back took us to the Super Bowl. When everybody thought we were going 3-13 or not even going to make it out of NFC West, and we went we went almost all the way. So
yeah, but they didn't. A lot of people that really don't care for Garoppolo didn't give him the credit though. They gave it all to Kyle's schemes in the running game, which was very good. The running game was like number 2 in the league, I think. Number 1, number 2, yeah. Yep. So and the defense. So therefore, Garoppolo this year has got to be able to go out and be a part of the offense on every week. And that may be the case because, as I say, it's not a lopsided offensive system now where you can only use so many parts of it. I think they can use a whole show now, so we'll see a different thing.
Yep. I just want to give a shout out to my parents. Thank you for bringing me into life. And I got two. I got a Brendan Ayuk jersey and a Kinlaw jersey from my dad and my mom that I'll be wearing.
All right. Congratulations, birthday boy. I got to sing the song, don't you?
Yep. Go ahead, sing it loud. America's Got Talent.
Happy birthday to Justin. That wasn't good. I gotta put that note. A little pitchy on that one. I have to sit here.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Justin. Happy birthday to to Justin. Hey, Justin. Happy birthday, man.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Tutu.
Appreciate it, man.
Listen,
All
man, I
right, man.
appreciate you, man.
Have a good night, everybody, and stay safe. Stay safe and wash your hands.
There you
Wash your
go.
hands.
And keep them out of your face. All right, bro. Have a good night,
Yes,
Justin.
sir. Let's go on to the next caller, and next caller is going to read up right now. See you later, man.
I love it. He's got an intro for the next guy, too. Hi, Justin. D, that's your cue, man. Come on in.
Hey, what's going on, Ronbo?
Oh, D, man. Just trying to see the forest for the trees. You know, I got to tell you, though, D, it's like we're all hoping. We're suffering the pain and struggle of this whole nasty year. Ooh, wait. Next year's going to be just awesome good. You know? Whoa. So what were you thinking about? Hey, with the returning of certain weaponry out on that field, I see another 49ers offense that could be absolutely unstoppable. D, what are you thinking, man?
Honestly, Ronbo, I'm holding my breath until I see these guys on the field and producing. You know how I feel. I know you're high on them. I'm loving all the videos.
Only because Shanahan is.
No, I don't even care that Shanahan is. It doesn't make a difference to me who's high on them. The fact of the matter is, are you on the field producing? You have not done that in 2 straight years. Until you get on the field and produce, I am not about to jump on this Jerick McKinnon train. I'm not.
Understandable.
You can
Understandable.
I will watch it go by, and if he produces and he shows up, more power to him.
Yeah.
Happy that he's a Niner. I will clap for him. I'm not going down the man. I'm just saying, 2 years in a row, nothing. Jalen Hurd, we drafted you. You had one good game, and your back gave out on you. I'm not going to ride that gravy train. Trent Taylor is a different story for me because I know what he can do. I've seen him play football. I've seen him produce. I know what his skill set is. So, yes, I have a little more optimism about him. But as far as McKinnon and Hurd, until I see y'all doing something, for me personally, I'm one of those. I can't put faith in them, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'll tell you this.
But D, I just want to interject one thing. Now, remember, McKinnon is not a rookie. He's been in the league for a while.
No.
But go ahead.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I know what he can do. I know when he was in Minnesota, he was undervalued and underused. I know that. But when you got somebody like AP in front of you, you really only going to see the sideline, the field from the sideline. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. But at the same time, you got here, you kept getting injured, and there's nothing there. And I can tell you this, as a kid, I didn't have my dad when I was growing up. And when he did decide to come around, he gave me a lot of empty promises. So I learned very young not to get my hopes up. So I'm not going to get my hopes up until I see them on the field producing. And I'm just asking everybody out there listening to send a prayer out for my area. They are planning to riot a mall that I live less than a mile from. So we hold up in here. We fortified. Everything good. Whoa. But, you know, this stuff is getting out of hand, man. I understand that we are upset and that we as a nation are hurting behind these things. But tearing shit up and going crazy is not about to get you nowhere.
That's
unfortunately. Right. I understand how people feel. Like, I'm not saying that people are wrong, and I'm not going to say that they're right. I'm going to stay neutral. But at the same time, it leads people to stupidity. But thank you for doing the show because I needed this to take my mind off all the crap going on.
Yes.
And when you come on Ronbo, it takes me out of there, man. It gives me another space. But I can tell you this, period point blank, with our offense at full strength, if those people that you stated, those 3 people alone, Taylor, Hurd, and McKinnon, if those 3 people alone are healthy, with Mostert working on his route running, are you serious right now? We already have an embarrassing position as it is. Do you really want another weapon? You're right. These teams are never going to be able to sleep. It's going to be 3 weeks before they got to play the Niners, and they're going to be waking up. No, Kittel, not catching the ball.
Who's covering Juice? Who's covering Juice? I thought you had. No, what did we plan before the game? He kicks an outlet. You go with him. There he is, wide open. I love it.
They have no hope if that offense is at full strength. Because if you are so right when you said His offense has never been at full strength since he's been here. Can you imagine having all of those weapons on the field at the same time and knowing all you're doing is rotating in and out weapon after weapon after weapon? It at that point, the other team's coach almost wants to throw a white flag. We're just going to forfeit. It's all right. We're good.
He
We're
can do
good.
it.
I don't have
Just
time for
throw
this.
your clipboard down, your iPad, whatever it is, coach, and just sit back and relax and take your whooping because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
his
nothing you can do.
imagination,
This is
his
why-
creativity on play calling, he's watching what you do. He's taking advantage of it. It's terrible.
Ronbo, when you watch a man stand on the sideline and say touchdown, and it happens, then that tells you he's too far advanced.
Man,
You don't think like that. You don't see coaches do that because he's basically saying, I know what your defense is doing, and I already know how to attack it, and I'm going to kill you.
and
he
I
already
know what's
said
going to happen if I call this play. That's what's scary. I know what's going to happen already.
I know the moving pieces. I know what will happen, what won't happen, who's going to go here, who's going to go there. And then think about it like this. For me, you know who I'm really rooting for? Solomon Thomas. You know why?
Is.
I want him to come out and explode on every offensive lineman he can think of. Because if you have that, and then you got Javon Kinlaw rotating in and out for him, are you serious? It's not fair.
No rest.
Have you seen Kinlaw's handwork? Oh my God, Ronbo! If you ain't seen it, you better follow that young man on Twitter. He's nasty. His hands are so fast.
I watched this film. I don't understand why it doesn't work on week to week. But he's not a bad football player, Dion. I agree. There's just something wrong somewhere.
He's great, we have an embarrassment of riches both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But the other spot that I will be very happy if Verrett can stay healthy, I want to see that competition for that backup cornerback spot because we all know Uncle Sherm's starting. That's a given.
Yeah,
but you think about it. Mosley walks in there and goes, "I'm hungry. I want to eat. This is mine." And then Verrett goes, "I'm gonna show you what it looked like when it was 2015, and that's why people call me one of the best cornerbacks in the league." And then you got a Kittel going, yeah, and then you got a Kittel going, "I'm done. I'm done playing mind games. Ain't nothing getting in my head. I'm getting y'all ass. I'm taking this spot." All that fighting, that hunger. Ooh, beautiful.
We got to pull up, D.
All right,
good
brother.
stuff. I love the enthusiasm, D. I see you feeling better already. Just keep it out house, and you'll all be fine.
Yeah. All right, brother. You have yourself a good night. Thank you for the platform. You are the best at what you do. Continue to do
thanks, fam.
And I'll see you next time.
There you go, D. And which will probably be tomorrow. Fair. Keep an eye on D, too. Keep his mind busy. He's doing content. Get on over to his site. It's Dion Johnson. You see him in the chat. If you do, click him. Dion's waiting on you. D, thanks, fam.
Good night, brother.
Let's go check out Dre. Dre!
Yo, yeah. What's happening?
Dre, you know it's really funny, Dre, because as much as I was like, I'm watching the news, I'm freaking out, I'm crying, I'm feeling bad about the country and everything, and then I go over to Twitter to get away from it, and there's Dre. Hey, I'm gonna stay off it. I'm gonna stop watching the news. I'm gonna stay on Twitter and just talk. Wow. Because the pain gets to be to the point you can't stand it. But Dre, tonight, what's on your mind, man? I'm talking about the three dudes that could come back and boost this offense. Some of the things that could go on could be just unstoppable. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, they did the third episode of on my platform. You guys can check that out.
All right.
Look up my page on Twitter, Fran49er, or go to YouTube and look up Niners all day.
Niners all day.
Somebody is talking, bro. Somebody's talking.
No, I think we're getting it under control.
Okay. Yeah, and I did an episode with our guest was Grant Cohn.
All right.
And we were basically talking about we went over a lot of issues, but you know that when the Niners talked to George Kittle, they offered him $14 million a year and he turned it down.
Uh-oh. It was that much.
Yeah, $14 million.
We got
a year,
another DeForest Buckner situation going then. Oh,
Henry, the what is it, Hunter Bryant, the tight end for the Chargers, is making the most per year, and it's 10.5. So that dude got offered $3.5 million more than any tight end in the league per year. And he turned it down. I'm telling you guys right now, all of y'all who love the names on the back of the jersey, y'all better understand, Kittle's ass could be traded. He could
well,
be traded.
especially if somebody's going to pay that much money.
Shanahan already sent him a message. Went after Austin Hooper. Wasn't able to get him, but he went after him. He went ahead and They went ahead and traded DeForest Buckner. Bro, if Joe Montana get traded, what the hell makes you think George Kittle can't get traded?
Well,
I'm telling y'all right now, if George Kittle wants more than $15 million a year, he's going to get
comparison.
traded.
Your comparison might be more to DeForest Buckner.
14, 15. Huh?
The comparison may be more akin to DeForest Buckner, because Montana and Rice and all of the super legends, those guys are already pretty much done.
But hey, man, if you trade a Hall of Famer, what makes you think you won't trade George Kittle?
Well,
and you got to look at it this way. So look at this, Ronbo. So the money that we saved from not signing DeForest Buckner to a $20 million contract, listen to all these names we re-signed with all that money. Sean Coleman, Tom Compton, Joe Walker, Kerry Hyder, Travis Benjamin, re-signed Brunskill, Trent Williams, got him on the contract.
Yeah.
Mosley, tendered him. Kendrick Bourne, tendered him. Early, tendered him. Ronald Blair, Jeffrey Wilson, Jimmy Ward, Ross DeWillie, and Nick Mullins. So for $20 million, we went and signed 14 guys. 14! And that's not even including all the undrafted free agents and the rookies.
And Drake, you know what? Your point is valid. What I'm concerned with now is, how do you replace a George Kittle? It's not like he's just a. Yeah.
This is the thing. I don't want people to think I don't want George Kittle. I love George Kittle. But if that guy wants 17, 18 million a year, guys, we have to be real. He's not going to get that. It's not going to happen. If you were GM and you had the chance to re-sign DJ Jones, Trent Williams, Fred Warner, Kyle Juszczyk, Jaquiski Tart, Ben Garland, Brunskill, or pay George, or break the bank for George Kittle, what would you do? Oh, NK1 Williams.
Yeah, no.
NK1 Williams.
And of course, that's not going to happen.
Gonna be up.
Yeah, because George Kittle, whatever he does, is not going to help you now. But yeah, this is why I say this is a deal that I wonder how much input does George have? Did he take the leash completely off his agent, or is he going to tell the agent to back off? That's cool. He's got to do that.
Man, his agent obviously was talking to ESPN, one of the ESPN guys, and he told him that they far away from a contract, and they already offered him 14 million a year. So 14 million a year. So 14 million a year. That's 3.5 more than any other tight end, and I know it was for at least 5 years. So I mean, come on, man. It's just, it's kind of disappointing. I didn't think that George was that type of guy.
I still don't think he is. I think that's his agent.
I mean, yeah, man. Like, George should be getting his agent's ear, bro. Like, do you want to play on a winning team, or do you just want to try to break the bank and be one of the only pieces left? Like,
because only a poor team can afford you. Only a very poor. I mean, a team that's no good.
Siberia.
Who has the most cap in the NFL right now?
You can get your ass shipped to NFL Siberia and listen to your agent. I don't give a damn how. Hey, man, Indianapolis is NFL Siberia compared to living in San Francisco or Santa Clara, bro.
And
who the hell want to live in Indianapolis? Bruh, come on, man. I mean, New York Jets, would you like to go there? I mean, hey, George, hey, bruh, it's beautiful playing in 70-degree weather year-round, bruh. And you fuck around and got to go play in snow all the time. I just hope he really step up and be like, hey, man, I want to play on a good team and I want to stay in San Francisco.
Dre,
you know what
I'm
saying?
thinking,
like, I love George Kittle, man.
Think about this, though, Dre. What team has actually got the funding to afford George Kittle? Because, see, this is what's going to make his agent have to back up.
Ronbo, there's not one team in the NFL that wouldn't give up 2 first-round draft picks for George Kittle right now. Not one.
And who's going to pay 15 to 17 million for a tight end? Because no matter what his agent thinks, George is still, his business card says tight end. Granted, he's a great one, but still.
Hey,
So I don't know how. I think the 49ers still win this.
I feel like we get a deal done, but I'm just trying to put the idea out there that sometimes as fans, and me included, I'm guilty of this too. We fall in love with these players and the names on the back of the jersey and don't realize that it's a business.
I agree.
It's $14 million.
It's a lot.
$14 million.
And he should take
$14
it.
million.
Dre, let's continue this tomorrow because it may improve between now and tomorrow. You never know. All right.
I'm just saying, man, like, I hope that they get it done. But, man, $14 million a year for a tight end, that's a lot of money. And he turned it down. That's kind of, that's kind of bothersome. Anyways, man, follow me on Twitter, man, at Fran49er. I just dropped the episode with Grant Cohn and my boy Bronze, man. Niners all day, man.
I'm going to look forward to that.
Yeah, man. Trey Craig, Big Show, Jerry Fresh, Big Show, Shay Lewis, player partner Will, man, all the guys out there, man. Y'all be safe.
You too, fam.
Be safe out there. Don't do nothing irrational. And
please,
buildings can be replaced. Right. Buildings and property can be replaced. Human life can't. That's all I got to say. I'm going.
All right, Jay. Have a good night, fam. Yeah, Jay's made a lot of sense. You can't give all the money in your budget to one player. And George knows that. Be reasonable, George. You want to stay with the 49ers? Then stay with the 49ers or tell your agent to step off. 14 isn't a bad deal. And then you load it with incentives. It can go up to any amount of the money. Hey, Jay, come on in, Jay. Yo, Jay. See, Jay, you gotta give Jay a second because he's rolling down the highway. He's got
Ronbo.
Yo, Jay.
Ronbo.
What's up?
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're just sitting there, man, and we're looking around at what could be if some of these guys would just come back. McKinnon, Hurd. We already know what Taylor and Hurd. We know what McKinnon and Taylor can do. We need to find out more about Hurd. But if Kyle's right about them dudes, oh, yeah. You add Debo into that mix. Don't let Ayuk be a killer. Oh, my goodness. And let's please sign George.
Yeah. I want to take one little second, and then we could get started, Ronbo. I want to wish dude a happy birthday because today is my birthday as well. But,
what is this? It's his birthday day. Last day of May.
So I just wanted to let you know that. So once my turn is over, I want you to do the happy birthday.
And you know
his birthday for me. All right. But I wanted to say that I think George is going to sign with us. I think he really is. I think he wants to be a Niner, and they're going to make it happen. I know they will because George Player is one of the best players on this team. We got to keep him for a long time. Dude come out and ball. He comes out there with a broken chip in his leg and still ball out. That's a man that we need to keep. You know what I'm saying?
And playing with a flat jacket on because his ribs is broke. Can you imagine?
Yes,
and still getting it done.
Yes, tough as nails, can catch the ball, can run his ass off. And, he's everything this team needs. You know what I'm saying? Once he makes
run game
his
ain't the same without him.
Yeah.
Dude's out there blocking.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Blocking defensive end, blocking linebackers. You know what I'm saying? That ain't easy.
Authority.
You got with authority. You know what I'm saying? You got offensive linemen having a problem with defensive end, and this man blocking defensive end like it ain't nothing.
Go out there and meet him.
Yes, I would be very hurt if we let George Kittel go. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. He's very energetic, smart. You know what I'm saying? Can catch, can block, can do it all. So I think he's a complete tight end in the NFL, the best tight end in the NFL. And we need to keep players like that because he's a dog. But
Jay, I just wonder, when he's talking to his agent, His agent's probably said, George, listen, you know what? I know what you're thinking. Let me handle this. I'll take care of this. You'll be the best paid. You'll be the well paid. You'll be paid your worth, by the way. But let me do this. Don't pull the plug on this because I can get this done. I got him right where I want him. You know, he's having that conversation with him, right? So when did George say, okay, but you know what? I think 14's fine. And then the agent's probably going to say, well, George, you're thinking too small. And it goes back and forth like that for a while. George will win this. He doesn't want to leave.
Yes, he will, because at the end of the day, Kyle knows how much he's worked for this team. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to keep D4, but they knew they had George Kittle coming up. You know what I'm saying? They had players that's coming up that it means so much to them. And I know we wanted to keep DeForest Buckner. I know we wanted to, but you can't keep everybody, and that's the part of I don't like about the salary cap.
Oh.
But I feel that they're gonna make a way of signing George Kittle. You know,
They have to.
I just have faith in his team and his organization that they could pull this out.
Because he's just too much part of that offense. He's actually the MVP of the offense more than anybody on that squad.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know what I'm saying?
God.
You know, I know the quarterback got to be the most important piece, but right now he's the most important piece on this team as far as on offense considered. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot for one man to do. You know, some of them could just be good pass catching. Then some could be a great run blocking, but you can hardly ever see one is just completely can do both and be great at doing both.
Yes.
You know what I'm
And he means a lot for the morale of that team, too. Who was that said?
That's
was
what
that
I'm
Kendrick
saying,
Bourne?
Ronbo.
He freaks Kendrick Bourne out with his game face. See, we think George's always clowning around and acting up. George gets crazy before the game, according to Kendrick.
He does.
You need that guy.
He loves the game. You can tell the guy loves the game. When you have a player like that loves the game, guess what he's going to do? He's going to lay it all out on the field for you. And that's what I'm saying that's what I'm looking at, the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he goes out there, and he's a good citizen. He ain't out there creating havoc, causing trouble. This man, that's what I'm saying. He's a complete package out on the field and off the field. And that's what kind of players we need on this team. That's how great teams stay successful. Look at Jerry Rice. Look at Steve Young. They was modern citizens throughout the whole time they was in the NFL, off and on the field. And that's what kind of players we need. You know, Montana, all these players, Ronnie Lutz. We got players like that.
You know what's really interesting, though? What if we would have had the CBA back when they were playing? I wonder what that effect that would have had. But Jay,
it would have had a major effect on it. We wouldn't have been a dynasty like that. It's kind of hard,
We wouldn't have been able to pay all those guys what they were worth or what they were asking for because they were getting paid big bucks at that time. So, Jay, we got to say that. We're going to run out of time. Let me jump on that song for you, Jay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Happy for the second time. We got another Niner with his day of birth. His name is Jay. Happy birthday to Jay. Happy birthday to Mrs. J's baby boy. Happy Niner. Birthday, dear Jay. Hey, Jay. We got two May 31 guys here today. But remember that next year. Jay, I got to roll. I'm going to see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ronbo. Appreciate you. Thank you for this Niners birthday. Everybody be safe.
Yes.
Love your show, Ronbo, and love talking to you,
Jay.
brother.
Looking forward
Niners
to
for
next
life.
time. All right, fam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rick.
What's good, sir?
Rick, man, it's like there's so many problems. You look at the virus, the cop that lost his mind, which would fueled all this madness. You got people talking about George Kittle's salary. I tell you what, Rick, we are going to be hardened individuals when we get through with all this and look back and be grateful for any peace at all in the days ahead. My God, what's next? Whoo! But for now, at least we can look forward to the future of adding more offensive weapons and steamrolling the rest of the NFL, who has no prayer to stop a fully, I'm talking a fully, when you get a car and you're going to take it to the shop, dude, I want to run this baby and I want to run everybody off the road. He stocks
Right.
it with everything possible, including nitrous. Yes! Hey, Rick, what are you thinking, man? If we're going to get this done.
You know what? Honestly, yeah, without question, I think people don't realize the one thing that we're looking for this year is consistency.
Yes.
Number one, we're looking for consistency from our offensive line blocking up front. We're looking for more consistency out of Jimmy G on some of those passes. We're looking for more consistency out of the receivers catching the ball because people don't realize Kyle Shanahan, what he does, he needs consistency to set up the next play. So therefore, if we drop a ball or we get a fumble or whatever, it messes up what he's looking for. He's like, okay, if I connect on this play, guess what? Yeah, I'll still the next play and the next play, the next play, and the next play, and the next play. But whenever we stop, then it's almost like I got to go back to the drawing board. So that's the first thing we're going to look for this year as far as consistency. Just to touch on the Kittel thing, I think that we'll get it done. I don't think he's going to get a crazy wide receiver money because of the fact, although he does everything for us as far as from blocking to catching, whatever the case, our number one option. We're still not going to go on that model. We're even with the best of, probably the best of all time in Gronk. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting paid that much even in his heyday. He may reset the market, maybe 13, whatever the case may be, or something like that. But we're not going to leverage all this money into him where we can't pay other players that are needed on our team as well as, like you said, on the defensive side. Or we got a bunch of cornerbacks and stuff that we're going to need to pay next year as well, or decide whether we're going to keep or let go. But back to the offense, man, like I said before, consistency. So I'm glad that Jimmy G has been working with the receivers, continue to work with them, like we said before, on the timing routes. Make sure that they should have camps or sessions where, look, we only had maybe one drop ball or no drop balls or stuff like that because it builds that confidence in Jimmy G to know when the pressure's on that they're going to make the catch. He can go to them. And as well, it lets Kyle Shanahan be like, okay, I only gave you so much because I don't think he gave us all of his playbook yet. I think the most we've seen of his playbook is probably in the Saints game. That's probably the most we've seen where he's actually got into his bag
beyond
stuff.
usual.
But
that's true.
yeah, exactly. And so I just think this year with the consistency, it helps kind of put Kyle in the mindset, okay, now I trust that these guys are going to do what they need to do, so therefore I can call more plays and other things. So we can start seeing more play action. We can start seeing some more bubble screens, some more screen passes out the backfield and stuff like that.
It's like you said, you got to go A, B, C, D. You got to go down right down the line. Yeah. One thing sets up another.
You know what the other thing is, to me, with the consistency? If we can show that we're being more consistent and stuff, then I believe we can start letting Jimmy G get off the hook as far as being so robotic, like, oh, you got to run this play. Let him get up to the line of scrimmage, look at the play, and diagnose, hey, this is not the right play, and call an audible and do something else. Because that was one of the things I kind of didn't like with him last year. And I mean, I know he said he wants to be robotic in his emotions, not too high, not too low, whatever, which is good. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? If you see a play, if we have a run play called, and we have 8 in the box, no, audible out of that and do a play action or something like that. Don't just go for the first thing, whatever. So therefore, we need more consistency with all our route running. And Jimmy G with his passing and some of his his manipulation with even with his eyes. You know what I'm saying? So he can look off a safety, look a safety off, whatever the case may be, as well as don't be dogmatic and just go on with the play that's called.
Rick, have you ever studied martial art or any kind of a discipline? Yeah, you know how it was when you first started. You didn't have the capacity to actually think outside of the box or innovate any new moves off anything you learn. But after you learn something and you get it down, you implement your own thinking, and that's when you become the player you're talking about. Jimmy has had 1 year to learn that offense. And I think when 2017, when you saw him first come in and carry the team by himself, and didn't know anything about the offense other than a handful of rehearsed plays, I think that's the real Jimmy G. Now he's got this education. I think what you're talking about is minutes away.
Yeah, and to me, that's what we're going to need, because as much as I hate to go back and watch that stupid game, that 3rd and 15 doesn't happen to us if it wasn't just kind of like off script a little bit. And we need those type of plays this year coming up. Be like, okay, hey, I saw you. Hey, hey, Debo. Hey, Ayuk. Hey, Hurd. Hey, Trent Taylor, Kittel, whatever. Hey, I saw that you had somebody burnt on this last play. I missed it. We're going to do something else. We want to play, quote unquote, but I see you again, or come back to another play later in off key, because that's all we need right now. As long as we consistent play, consistent catching, and we can do those things.
Absolutely.
Man, we're going to be over the top, dude.
You just got to know when it's available. Because like you're saying, he's seen some of those guys. But Kyle already called a play. And also, as I said, that offensive line, it had gotten breached so badly at one point that whatever was going to happen, Jimmy had his mind made up before that ball was snapped. Because he knew that defensive line was going to be on his ass within seconds. He can't be looking around. He's got one read. Get it out of your hands now. If you don't, you're dead. The play's dead.
Right.
So, yeah,
right, and so nice. It did. So I think he'll be better at it, because remember, that's one of our biggest gripes with Colin Kaepernick was like, look, you just don't do anything. It's just one read only, and we know that Jimmy G has the capacity to run a myriad of plays. So therefore, look, dude, show in practice and everything else. So therefore, we can have the freedom, if we need to audible out of a play, we can. The receivers are catching the ball on time and stuff like that, because even Debo, who we love so much, he had 9 drops last year. So we need more consistency out of him and stuff like that. So therefore, we can take our offense to the next level, and we can start making that transition where it's more of our offense starting to carry our defense. So therefore, the defense would love to be like, hey, man, you all are scoring at a clip so crazy that it makes it easier to the point where we know now they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the ball, so we can just pin our ears back and get to the quarterback, because we stop them, you score. We stop them, you score. And after a while, they have no other option but to abandon the run. We can just go get after them, and we just
stop. We got to stop, but I got a feeling you're not going to be disappointed this year. Like I say, it takes time to learn Shanahan's offense. What we saw, actually, we should be impressed with what we saw last year, because they almost executed flawlessly at times in an offense that takes at least a year to get into and actually execute fashionably good. So, I'm looking forward to what we'll find out this year. And some of these things that we're talking about now, I don't think we'll be talking about a lot next season. So, but anyway, Rick, good stuff, fam. I'll see you tomorrow. All right?
Absolutely, man.
All right.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Bye. You do the same.
Thanks, fam. And Guerrero Manguia said, I love my Niners. Robert George is there because he knows that we're getting a ring, and I'm heading to Las Vegas traders. Trader Raider Jones. Love you. Hey, Guerrero, have a good time, fam. And be careful, man. You know what? I can't imagine what they're doing in Vegas to make sure nobody's getting ill. But be careful, fam. Just win. And let us now go check out Elvis. Hey, Ellis.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Ellis, I can hear you real clear now, fam. Come on in.
What's happening?
Ellis, man, I'm looking at like the return of several weapons. Because, see, I really think the 49ers offense has kind of been misunderstood to some degree. And Kyle and company, they should be given credit for having actually, it was a really good offense, but it was only a fraction of its potential. And that's why I'm looking forward. If Shanahan gets the weapons he has, the plans he has for each one of those players, and how they will function in his system is imperative. And I really love the idea of getting Hurd, McKinnon, Taylor back in the mix. That's going to be a whole nother offense with him in there. And you already got Debo, Kendrick Bourne. These guys are already well polished. So I got a feeling they're going to start. I don't know about the rest, but boy, Ayuk, don't let him be good. Oh, my Lord. I just thought of that. Just makes me crazy. But what are you thinking here as far as that potential?
I mean, it's. I don't know, man. We could probably break a plethora of records next season if we get all these guys at full bore when it comes to just overall offense, however many players, breaking individual stats within that offense, one organization for a whole season. Imagine these guys all, getting, having a couple 100 yards apiece, just our receivers alone, just from, of course there'll be a little bit higher than others, but I mean, imagine all around, you know what I mean? Even with what's his name? What's that tight end? I forgot his name.
Dwelly,
Ross Dwelly. Ross Dwelly is a pretty good tight end, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. When we didn't have George, he was very certain. He came in and played, and it was almost like outside of the offense, we clearly didn't have the same guy. But Ross wasn't really getting used, for that in the offense. But when he did get the ball thrown to him, he was catching in some very clutch moments. You know what I mean? I think he made a really big catch in that game against, if I'm not mistaken, it was in Seattle.
Ellis,
we got a first down, but I'm just saying overall.
I should ask a question on that. I agree. I wonder sometimes why, if Kyle knows, why won't he use certain players sometimes a little more? I know some teams do too much with one guy or one player, but when I see what he did with Debo in the Super Bowl, and like you're saying, Dwelly was probably underused. What would you think would be the reason behind that? Is there something that because Kyle's very hard to try to figure out? Why wouldn't he use Dwelly a little more often?
Yeah, between him and Richie James, he could make just specific plays to execute, with Richie James or with some of these other guys. But they're strictly geared towards their skill set. This is what we made this play for him. Just have some big, some big time, blockbuster kind of plays like they used to run with Sproles back in the day. And they would do stuff on every team he went on. They had a Sproles play, and he would always be, getting off, and especially in the special teams and whatnot. But I'm just saying he's just one of the many examples, and I don't know why Kyle doesn't utilize the offense in its entirety and use all these guys and showcase them, because then we kind of judge them based on them not really having the PT and the necessary opportunities that a lot of other guys are. And granted, it is a mixture of you got to take it, but at the same time, you do need to tick. You need to play. You need the live reps. So I just hope that Kyle utilizes the offense a little bit more. And like we talked about, doing some more of the play action with Jimmy, we'll get that enhancement on the offensive line. And I don't see anything stopping us but us, as always.
Well, so, when that offense is fully engaged, everything is play action. When you watch Atlanta, when they had reached their peak, everything came out of play action. You didn't know if the 49ers were going to run or pass. Why? Because everything came out of play action. That's when Kyle Shanahan's system is being fully implemented and when he takes advantage of a defense at its best. But you don't have the right tools, you're not going to be able to run that kind of offense. So Kyle, he sort of what did he do? Improvised? I don't know. It's just, we'll see.
Imagine if he had half the weapons. What would we be doing right now? Would we be trying to put the whole damn thing on George and say we just had George and Kendrick and maybe one out of the other, 7, 8, 9 receivers that we got, quality receivers that we have.
Yeah.
What would we be having to do then? We'd have to make it happen. So we got to still kind of think like that and not figure we can just keep all these guys on ice, man. We got to utilize everyone. And, I think hopefully somebody gets in his ear. I wish they could take some of our our feelings towards things, because we got we have a really clear spectrum and view of how we see things within the game. And I wish just we could have like more of a say-so in helping with our teams as fans, as faithfuls.
But
that shit would be kind of dope.
I kind of think they're going over some of the same things we're going over because, like I say, if you haven't got all the dimensions you need out there, you can't really do all the things you want to do. So you limit yourself to 2 or 3 different designs on the field, and then hopefully you get what you back. Because if McKinnon does what he does, and it's a specialty what he does, you don't have that now. If you had Hurd on 3rd down, you can take advantage of the weakest link on the defensive unit, and that will display itself at some point during the course of the game. Kyle's watching everything, right? He knows who the fish are, and he can take advantage of them. Now, Taylor with the slant. Nobody's going to stop Taylor when he's running that thing, right? And Wes Welker's going to make sure of that. And Taylor was already good at that before Welker even came. So you take away all these things, you end up, what? We run the ball. So, that's why it's going to expand a lot in this coming season.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. And to follow up with the defense, we know what the defense is going to come. We got Coach Salah in there and all of the other great coaches there. I just can't wait to see what we do. It's going to be a lot of guys trying to eat this year. And there's some competition with Dre there and everything. Of course, as we've seen, we got Javon, we got these new rooks. So
it's going to be a good year,
fun.
Ellis. We got to go,
man. Yes, sir.
I'm going to look for you tomorrow. Yes, sir, champ. All right.
Okay, right on, Ronbo. Shout out to you as always, man. Y'all make sure y'all download that Ronbo Sports app right now. And, everybody be safe out there. There's a lot of protesting and stuff going on, man. I just barely made it off the freeway. They just was about to block off the whole side of the freeway when I was driving, man, with the family.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, I'm like, man, y'all calm down, man. Let me get through so I can get to the house with my kids. Don't quit fucking around now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but okay, champ. Hey, shout out to you though, Ronbo, man. Thank you again. We at times like this, man, we got to be unified. So hopefully everybody's pushing that. Because at the end of the day, we don't want them to do this martial law stuff, and it's going to turn into something else, man. So
I know. Don't get started on that. Let's don't bring it up.
Let's just be wise, my people. Much love.
Same to you,
for life, baby. One.
See you tomorrow. Night, Ellis. See, he said the word. I've already been thinking that. Can you imagine if it doesn't stop and it elevates any further? We may hear the term in America, martial law. Santana! Santana? See, these are the kind of situations you hope that everything is okay, right? Santana! Moved over. Hey, Kevin!
Ronbo.
Kevin. Hey, Kev.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Yeah, man, I sit back here, man.
I'm good, man.
Good. Glad to hear that.
I'm good, man, but some sad times going on right now, man.
I know, right? I keep wondering, what are we going to get next? Virus. A riot that has gone completely, to a level, who knew it was coming, right? And then you got George Kittle's situation. We've already lost to Forrest Buckner. We lost the Super Bowl. Kevin, this is a bad year. But it's going to get better. As I say, because I'm looking at some of the players we got now that could be coming back. And some of this misery, because these things always, eventually they hit a peak and they come back down to a nice level, They'll be making systemic changes in some legislation and some things. George Kittle will be signed. The pandemic will finally stop. It's all kind of good things ahead, Kev, including those guys I mentioned earlier. What are you thinking there?
Well, I'm a little surprised, but then also not surprised at all that Kittle turn down that kind of money.
I just want to know, is that
I-
real?
I-
14. Have you heard anything about that number? 14? He said no to 14? Because I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Ronbo, with all the stuff that he does for our offense, I mean,
It's probably
yeah, 14 is resetting the tight end market, but I honestly think he's worth a little bit more than that.
I know.
And I think
agree.
he's looking in between the 16 to 18 million dollar range. And you know what? Right now we can't afford that.
I know.
And I love George Kittle just like everybody else, but I also agree with Dre when he said you can't fall in love with the jersey. And if you look at the Patriots over the past 20 years, how many great players have they turned over? Because they would keep restocking their high draft picks. They would, be able to keep some guys on team friendly deals. And, I don't see George Kittle, completely holding out. I hope he doesn't. However, I promise you, his agent is telling him to not step on the field until there's a deal in place.
But how did Gronk?
So,
how did he stay in New England? They paid Gronk peanuts. How did he stay?
Because he kept getting injured. He had like 5 or 6 elbow surgeries. He tore his ACL. He had
so he was just
problems.
grateful. Yeah.
So
he was just grateful to keep playing. I guess.
George plays injured, but he doesn't have catastrophic injuries that Gronkowski. I mean, Gronkowski's made of glass. I'm surprised that he's coming back to play this year for Tampa.
And that's insane. His family probably told him, "Please don't." But how much is Kelsey getting paid?
If Kittle gets that 15 to 16 million, he's probably going to get more. I mean, if Dak Prescott is going to set the QB market, what the hell is Mahomes going to want? So
how does Kansas City? They're in bigger trouble than anybody. So now it's just survival of the cash. Who can keep the most talent?
Well, in this coronavirus, Ronbo, I mean, without players in their, or without
fans paying some of that revenue,
paying their money to go see them play and concessions. The cap is going to be significantly lower than we thought it was going to be. So I understand, John and Kyle and Parag and Jed, they seem to know, and they seem to be able to balance this cap right now, but there's going to be some serious financial problems going into next year if this virus doesn't go away. So, Dre named some of the guys. We need to re-sign Brunskill. He's a young interior versatile offensive lineman. We have K'Wan Williams. We have Witherspoon. We have Mosley. We have Sherm if he wants to come back for another, 1 or 2 years. We have Ronald Blair, who I think is a very underrated player on the defensive line. We only signed him to a one-year deal. So,
and out of all those people you just named, Sherm is the only guy that you can actually be safe with because he's his own agent. Because agents go in there and they don't care. I need this amount of money for this player. Look what he does for you. And he goes on. And it doesn't think about what the team could do and structure to make it all work. No, that's not my problem. So, guys, come up with the money.
As far as this offense goes, and I know the show is kind of catered towards the offense, I do think this offense can function without George Kittle, but it cannot operate at the same speed or the
efficiency.
same. I read something today where on outside runs we were averaging 5.4 yards a carry with George Kittle and less than 3.5 yards per carry without him in the game. So
he's just so good at
he's so crucial to the team. And if the deal doesn't get done before week 1, I don't think he's going to be on the field. I think he's going to hold out. And I think his agent has a very strong. Of course, George is going to want to play. He's going to want to be out there, but. One risk of injury and his stock plummets, $10 million per season. So,
and the way he plays, an injury could happen anytime too.
I want to see him out there just as much as everybody else, but, it's a business and these players, they want their money and I just hope that they can come to terms with the deal or else, we may not be seeing George Kittle for the first few weeks of the season. So
Kevin, it's bad enough.
which is unfortunate.
That was not a bottom line you need to deliver. Oh, God. But it's true. If his agent could say, okay, listen, George, the only way I'm going to have any
I
leverage
hope to
here
God
is if
that-
you sit.
I hope to God a deal gets done, Ronbo. I hope to God.
Oh, yeah, we all do.
That's all I got to say about that tonight.
Oh, God. All right, Kevin. Good stuff, man. I wasn't ready for a reality check, and then Kevin just brought it anyway. And you're right. We're going to see it, Kev. And I got my fingers crossed. I'm going to get this done. It's going to stop soon.
Can't be cute and cuddly all the time, Ronbo. So thanks for the platform.
Oh, God. He went
Thanks for the platform, Ronbo. You're the man, and keep you all heads up. Things are going to turn around.
Yes,
by the
indeed.
grace of God. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Got to.
Bye.
Night, Kevin. Oh, God. Can you imagine George Kittel, by his agent's instruction, he's going to sit. Oh, man! Nudge! Oh. Hey, Nudge, where you at, man? And Nudge. No, wait, Nudge did this last time. Nudge might be on the East Coast. Hey, Rod.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, Rod?
Always ready.
It's for the Rod. The return of the Rod. Rod, we haven't talked to you in a long time, man. What's up?
What to do, Ronbo?
Rod, man, I'm looking at a world on fire right now, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go see if I can talk some football with my fam. So, Rod, I'm looking at like the three players that could be coming back that could make a huge difference. And then I have to look at George Kittel. I'm trying to ignore him too because his whole situation is bad news. We've had enough bad news to last us for the next decade. But Rod, your feelings on all these things and anything else?
Well, I think we all know, 49ers fans, that when Kyle and John first came along, that George Kittle was one of Kyle Shanahan's early projections of being a star into this offense. So I can't see one way which another where they let him go, even if it's nothing but a franchise tag this season. So, God, I mean, I just don't see it. It's not going to happen. So that's not something I'm overly concerned with. The thing that I will keep my eyes open on, though, is knowing how these guys can just spur of the moment make a decision that will, you know what I'm saying, pretty much rock the whole NFL. Just don't be surprised if another person leaves.
I know.
D Ford is a guy that I know mostly comes to mind for most people, but, I personally hope we can keep D Ford at least one more season. Who knows? He may be healthy enough this year to even contribute more than he did this past season. And, being that DeForest Buckner is gone, you're probably going to see Armstead play a little bit more beside him, too, in addition to DJ Jones. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing how they go about doing it. I mean, I got confidence in the Ronbo. They've never failed us up to this point, and even decisions that we all thought in the beginning was maybe a little far-fetched for them to be able to make something good out of. They never failed, man.
Yeah, I tell you. And it's really funny though. This is George and I don't know, Rod. How agents work? Can you call them on the phone? You're reading the headlines and say, "So what was wrong with 14?" I mean, I just wonder, God.
Right.
But,
man, these guys, man. I mean, one thing about Kyle Shanahan, I think that's different than him and most coaches.
is that he's always like 3 steps ahead of everybody else thought process. You know, like your boy was talking about earlier today, that horrific play that they threw the pass interference call on in the Super Bowl going towards halftime. You know, the big criticism was, well, why didn't Kyle take a timeout? Which, you know, I mean, it makes sense, the argument, but referee don't throw that play, we not complaining at all, are we?
Yeah, there's a few things. That offensive that interference call on Kittle. You guys didn't.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
the one I'm
didn't
talking
call
about.
anything
That's
else.
the one
Let
I'm
them
talking
play.
about, yeah.
You know, come
Right,
on, man.
I'm saying, look, if they don't throw that flag, then, I mean, we're not making any complaints because we're at least in field goal range. But, yeah, Kittle scored on that play, didn't he? Didn't he score a touchdown on that play? And they
Did he
called
get
it
all
back?
the way away? I forgot. Did he?
I
He must
wanna say
have.
he did.
He must have. You know why? Because there was nobody else on the field ahead of him except for the guy that they said Kittle straightened his arm out. he did straighten his arm out, but still, that call is not made often. Yeah.
Okay, somebody buzzed in and said he got tackled
He's got
close
what?
to the goal line, I assume. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, but anyway, the result's still the same. We probably push it in, chances are.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because it was like
Most of it's coming
probably
in.
barely 30 seconds. Yeah, around that time, it was about close to 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
So, you know.
You know what? They weren't going to stop the 49ers. Mostert was coming in. If they got 1 yard, 2 yards line, Mostert's coming in. They're not going to stop him 2 yards out. So, you know, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, I think so too, man. But to put a little end on it, man, my biggest thing this season is there was a guy who actually posted the question on Twitter today, what 49 impressed us the most this past offseason. And I got to go Raheem, man. I think Raheem is a guy that I'm looking forward to really having a breakout season this season upcoming because, you know, he didn't even start the season off as a starter last year. I'm really excited to see how Kyle is going to go about doing that. Furthermore, I'm really anxious to find out what the role Jared McKinnon is going to play, being 2 years removed from the offense and being that they decided they'd rather keep him over Breida. I guess that's something that, you know, it's a meaning for it. So, you know, I can't wait to see, man, how it's going to pan out.
Oh, you know. And here's the thing. If Kyle's looking for a guy who can be a receiver, I guess, I don't know, he never used Matty B in that way, but when he did use him in that first year, 2018, Matty B he missed, I think, one pass, or maybe not even one pass that year. So, you know, Kyle doesn't use him in that way. And then when he did use him that one time in the Pittsburgh game, he fumbled the ball. You know, Kyle, boy, he don't put up with nothing. Tell you.
Right about that.
Rod, we gonna go, man. Hey, Rod, I get on back here tomorrow, man. Be looking for you, okay?
Man, I'm off work. You know I'll be here.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the Empire. Happy birthday to the 90 Empire fans. That birthdays of the day. Yeah. And Ronbo has been good coming back. I will definitely catch you tomorrow, my friend.
Looking forward. Yeah.
If you will, please let me get that exit, baby.
Niners! That's better, right?
All right. Catch you tomorrow, Doc.
Looking forward. Let it ride. Hey, IB.
Ronbo. What's going on tonight?
IB, it is a time to get away from the world's reality at the moment and talk about enjoyable things like the red and gold.
Yeah, man.
Right, because I'm looking at, I'm saying, you know, they pointed these guys out. Now he's new McKinnon. Kyle had a whole playbook written about McKinnon, so I knew what his purpose was going to be in this system, right? But I didn't know nothing about Hurd until last year, and we already know about Trent Taylor and what he brought to the table the year before.
I still don't know about Hurd.
I know we still don't, you know. But you know, if Kyle has he's got a whole playbook just for Hurd, that must mean he plays such a role. You got to have him, or else the whole thing breaks down. And what I really wish Kyle would stop doing, stop putting heavy reliance on Jerick McKinnon. The reason why we got killed so bad out here, Jerick gets hurt, 1 week before the first game? So now, Kyle, you've got no fallback plan? Oh, no. So, it's a scary thing.
You talking about with McKinnon?
Yeah.
Because that's how that's what we thought. We thought we didn't have a fallback plan, but Mostert, Wilson and Breida didn't show last year, but Mostert definitely and Jeff Wilson definitely.
Wait, do we have Wilson in 2018?
I'm not sure about that. I think not. I'm not
Matty B
100%
played good.
sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was injured.
Mostert got hurt. Yeah. It was strange. 2018 was strange.
Yeah. 19 was strange for us too because none of us expected it. I don't think any of us seen it.
Some people said we was going to the Super Bowl. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie.
And we had that too. We had that scary element when we weren't sure what our offensive pieces were going to be. We were dependent on Dante and Marquise at first, and then all of a sudden Mostert started coming in, and then you know what I'm saying. It's like, so it was an up and down season at first, but it was everything that we've been playing with since Kyle started formulating his system. He's like the Phil Jackson of the football thing. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of doing that with us, man. And I'm interested. Me personally, I'm definitely interested in seeing Taylor come back healthy, Hurd come back healthy. I would love to see what he could do at that position because it opens up the possibilities of having Kittel. And can I ask, before we go on, where's this information about Kittel coming from? Because I've never even heard it or even seen it.
Drake
yet.
came up with that figure.
I haven't seen that at all.
I know. I was kidding.
Okay,
I was thinking same like you.
It was just a
Google
question.
that up right away.
Yeah, I'm looking and I don't see nothing, so I'm not entertaining that until I see it or hear it from different source personally. And that's no disrespect to nobody, but I don't see it, so I don't know. That's why I asked you. But
I know too, because that's the first time I heard about it too. Turned down 14, but
I'm asking because
remember we heard about what DeForest Buckner was offered though. And I said, where'd you get that information?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it was true. And remember, DeForest Buckner came online and told everybody, since when is everything on the internet true?
That's deep right there. You know what I'm saying? But one thing, like I said in the chat when I heard him say that, is if he's not coming back this year, if he's saying that he's not playing this year, then I don't think we worry about that, man. Because he is. We really run our system around him. I'm hearing people saying, well, he's a tight end / wide receiver. No, he's not. He's a tight end / offensive lineman. That's how we play him. That's how he's played in our system. We have not opened him up to really be a receiver yet, and that's what we're trying to do with all these other pieces. So if we can bring back Hurd, who could play, you know what I'm saying, who could play that H-back spot, that slot, or that wing back,
Hey, Playboy, check this.
Hold on. Come on in and be respectful, because
I'm being respectful. I didn't call you out your name. I said Playboy. I got partners that call me Playboy all the time. Check this out, though. Now, I did an episode on my platform today with Grant Cohn. You can go check it out. Grant
Bro,
Cohn
you block everybody, so I don't even know you. You block everybody, dog.
Hey, so you ain't gotta know me, but you just said my name. So if you don't know me, you ain't gotta say my name.
I didn't say your name. I ain't say your name. Go.
Hold on. I want to hear what Drake got this. Go ahead, Drake, with the information. Though.
Yeah, I want to know
14.
too.
Okay, then. So you just said my name, so I'm explaining to you. Okay, I did an episode with Grant Cohn on my platform.
Okay, we got that.
It's called Niners All Day. You can go check it out, or you can hit my Twitter. It's Fran49er on Twitter.
Right.
The live episode was streamed through Twitter also. Grant Cohn talked to George Kittle's agent personally, bro. The day before they came out with the story on ESPN. He talked to him, and he told him that they had discussions with George Kittel 4 weeks ago. They offered him $14 million a year, which is $3.5 more than Hunter Bryant, which is the highest paid tight end in the NFL right now per year. It's Hunter Bryant. He just signed a tag because they going through the same thing. They didn't want to pay him a lot of money. He got $3.5
I gotta look that up.
You're not going to find it. This is coming straight from the agent himself, bro. You could, if you have any disputes with that, you can go hit up.
Put it on YouTube. Yep. Y'all put your interview on YouTube, or it's just on your page.
We put the whole episode. It's on YouTube, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was just interjecting. I don't want nobody to think that I'm lying or that I'm putting false information out there. Not I came up with. This is something that I talk from the horse's mouth. We talking about
I'm grown, Brody. So if you come on in, you come on in. As long as it's facts, I respect it because I don't do the other stuff. But you hear me? So I'm definitely gonna check that up, and you know what I'm saying. But me personally, I'm not. Unless George says I'm holding out, I don't think we entertain it because he's that vocal in our system that I think we have the right to say, well, then don't play it. You know what I'm saying? We can't act like you said, we can't sit up here and act like these players got more power and authority than the actual team does. You know what I'm saying? So it's good information because I don't think we need that in coming from Kittel. But we also heard Kittle's wife. We also heard Kittle's wife being vocal right after the Super Bowl. So it's something deeper. It's something in behind that. It's either his agent or we don't get too personal. You know what I'm saying? So
right. That's
how far back it goes, though.
Out there because I want fans to realize, bro, that no player is bigger than the team, and we just seen the same exact thing with Buckner. When we heard that Buckner got offered $18 million, we thought it was a damn lie. Come out, it was true, and the dude. Now, if we offer George $14 million and he wants 16, that's $2 more million. Just like Buckner wanted $2 more million. He's gone, bro. And we got
Dre, don't say. Okay, we gotta shut it down, though, guys.
Hey, but we gotta figure out where it's coming from because we gotta figure out where it's coming from.
And Dre, I want further confirmation, just because I don't like the news, right? But I got it. Right. And like you're saying, we heard about DeForest advance as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I just wanted to confirm to you, bro, that I wasn't just
just making it up. All right. Understood.
I got
it. All right,
bro, and you can.
All right, Dre, we're gonna check it out. Yep.
All right, guys. We're gonna let's go, and maybe we'll see something tomorrow. It's Monday. We'll find out more, maybe. All right, guys. All right, guys.
Yeah, I already know, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, fam.
Yep.
99B.
All right. All right.
God. Because that's all we need is more bad news involving our team. They go along with everything else, Pretty soon, the price of spam is going to go up. Of course, I don't even like spam, so it's okay. But a lot of people I know do. Hey, John V. John doesn't like. John, you don't like spam, do you?
No, sir, Ronbo. No spam here, my man.
It's either ham or nothing.
That got great. I respect both Dre and IB. So that was crazy at first. I was getting nervous, man. It started making me uneasy and shit. But
because
I respect both those men, and I like how they toss ideas around. Both knowledgeable, both have facts, and I respect it both ways. So that was pretty sweet. I'm glad it ended the way it did.
It's like anything else in this world. We grow up a certain way, and you develop your own attitude about certain things, and you don't want to hear certain news, and you accept only certain things and reject the others. I've denied the truth in my life. I can't count how many times. When in the back of my mind, I knew it was probably right, but I refused to believe it. You know what I mean? And that's why, John, when I hear that he turned down a $14 million contract, when I heard DeForest turn down an $18 million contract, I just said, oh, here we go. It's not true. When really, it may be. And that's in the back of my mind already. I know it may be.
I mean, that totally debunks what we said the other night. Then 14, 15 is not acceptable, but 17, 18 is too much, Ronbo. I mean, I don't see Kittle as the type of player that would
Insist
handcuff the
upon
team
this.
to the bench.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like he's a team player and a team-friendly deal that's fair. I believe that his agent is pushing for headlines, and I think Kittle is probably on the other side of the line. Like, hey, man, like, you know, let's keep this. I love my Niners and I love being a Niner, and I don't want to send the narrative that I'm going to handcuff the team and I'm not going to take a deal. Of course, he wants paid, but I would imagine that Kittle's the type of guy that would want it to be team-friendly. He wouldn't want to cripple the team moving forward.
See, that's the way I think. Of all we know about Kittle's personality, that's what you expect, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Yes, he's a team guy. He's a team guy. But Dre's right. There's no player bigger than the team. And I don't think that Kittle would ever make that narrative. I don't think he would ever let that narrative take over who he is and what he is to our franchise. Because he's practically the face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because God knows nobody likes Jimmy. I mean, this guy, who's Jimmy? He's like a silhouette of a ghost.
He's that good-looking guy
in our
that pissed us
organization,
off,
the quarterback is not the face. Yeah. In our organization, unfortunately, our quarterback is not the face of our franchise. So it's the tight end in our case. But I don't know, Ronbo.
Hey, but John, was Buckner? Did you consider him the face of the defensive? I mean,
he was a staple. He was massive to that line. So I was at a loss for words.
But image-wise, did we look at him as a king of the defense? See, this is why, because I'm looking at George that way. George is that part of the offense that's going to take 15 guys to do what he did in one game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100 times over again. Absolutely. I was blown away. And it makes me wonder if John Lynch is taking that Patriots style of thinking, like everybody's expendable. I don't give a damn what you bring to the table. That worries me a little bit, you know, because we're hesitating on Kittle's contract. We're hesitating because we're not the type of team that'll be like, okay, well, we're a garbage team, so we'll throw the checkbook, hit him in the head with it, with a headline deal. We'll make history. And I don't think John Lynch is that guy.
We are not the Rams.
We don't have that money.
They're not going to do it. If DeForest Buckner can leave, I know that. Yes, anybody can get out of here if they can't accept.
And then
what
Kittle
we've added.
becomes a Seahawk, and I cut my leg off.
Oh God! Oh Jesus! Oh no!
I mean, Ronbo, there are teams licking their lips right now. If the Niners, every day that the Niners hesitate, and I say hesitate, not negotiate. I say hesitate because I think that these other teams, 31 other teams, are licking their lips, man. They're licking their lips. There are teams amongst those 31 that can afford to hit him in the face with a maximum
and they'll
deal.
Do it. Because that's what I was trying to ask him a little while ago, John. I said, what is the most down and out team right now with lots of money? And George Kittle.
The Jets. I mean,
thought about the Jets.
The Bengals.
They got that new quarterback.
Jesus,
they would say
the
Niners.
The Bengals. Jesus, who else? I mean, there's so many. Denver.
God,
Ronbo. I'm leaving out. Maybe.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas will pay Kittle.
That would be.
God,
oh my God!
Give him
and
his house.
With wifey in your ear, those offers, Jesus, that's scary, man. That's scary because wifey has a big deal. They have a great deal of leeway when it comes to, it's not leeway, but you know what I mean. Wifey has a big say in what happens, so that worries me. I'm worried, Ronbo. I know we shouldn't be worried, but I'm worried.
Yeah, I know, right? Too early. We can wait.
I worry each day.
God. Because
Ronbo, if we give him $18 to $20 million for 4 years with something stupid guaranteed,
we can't pay
anybody. We are crippled moving forward.
Yeah,
we are crippled. We might as well just fall apart like the Rams.
Oh, and you know what's going to end up happening then? Kyle's got to alter his offensive concepts and go in another direction because Kittle is pretty much the focal point He is the death nail. He is the dagger. He is that last big howitzer shot when we're beating teams up. Is there anybody, John, on that roster that would have done what he did in that Saints game? Anybody?
No.
See?
No. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life.
Same here.
But give no credit to Jimmy because he had nothing to do with that drive. I mean, give no credit to Jimmy either. I mean, who threw Kittel the ball? I don't know. Who was it?
No,
Who knows?
as far as other people are concerned. But I'm thinking, who would have been fighting his way down the field? Guys are hanging off his body. Another guy's got him by his face
Henry,
mask and
maybe?
they're trying to rip his head off. And Kittle's still diving forward. He's taking him with Jesus Christ.
The only player that comes to mind with that capability is Derrick Henry. I don't think there's anybody else that could make some kind of ridiculous run down the field with people hanging all over him. It was awesome. But Ronbo, that cannot define the contract.
I know. John, we got to stop.
That just can't.
And you know what I'm hoping tomorrow, John?
Always a pleasure.
When we get the headline tomorrow, because it's a regular day, well, as regular as could be right now, but maybe something nice. We can finally get some good news. God.
Yeah, it's scary, Ronbo. We can hear gunshots blocks away from us here right now.
You see what I'm saying?
And we live in a good neighborhood. Yeah, it's scary, man. It's scary right now. The times are really reflecting some really dark days, but I just need something to clear it up.
Well, that's
I just need something.
Some good news tomorrow would definitely be
yes, sir.
Like
yes, sir, Ronbo.
aspirin. We'll see, John. All right, fam. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Ronbo. Always a pleasure, my man.
Same
I
here.
thank you always
Thanks,
for everything
man.
you do. Good night, brother.
Thanks, John. Night. See, because I can tell you right now, hey, Joey, because wait a minute, where's my guitar? I'm going to tune it up in a while. Boom, Joe, boom. Joey Boney, yeah, dum-de-doo-ah, ooh, yeah, Joey Boney. Hey, Joey, are you at work, Joey? Did you get off work? What's going on?
I'm at home.
Okay.
Today is one of my few days off.
Well, it's best to be home right now anyway. Joey, the streets are crazy, man. But Joey, that's why I said I can't see football, man, because this is like depressing stuff. But Joey, I mean, Kittle's situation is not helping add to the depression. And then you got the good thing, though, is if indeed we got 3 healthy bodies right now that are worth $1 million to Kyle's offense, should they be ready to roll, if anything does get to roll. Joey, what are you thinking here, man?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm hoping we can get Kittel signed. I don't know how that's going to happen. But
I know our happiness gravitates around him. That's the bottom line. No matter what else is going on. George, where you going, man? With that legendary revenge tour. What's up? What?
Yeah. Be back with the vengeance of trying to get money.
God.
Dang, man.
Wow.
Man, this is crazy.
14 million is not a
and like
bad
you said,
deal.
Yeah, and he turned it down. He said no. Go figure. But like you said, it was the agent, though. It was the agent, It's like,
I know. No matter what judges.
If the agent's the ones pressing all the buttons, then what are you really supposed to do,
And what if like John just said, what if wifey's saying, George, let him do his job. Why don't you just listen? Come on in here. Let's hang out. How about we just go ahead and get naked and just do something else? But just leave this alone. So I'm already seeing. God, George.
That was a great phrase, Ronbo. I love it.
She's got to get leave this alone, George. Eyes here. Focus on me. Let this guy do his work. And George is probably saying, yeah, but I want to play with the Niners. It goes into whine mode. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's like a kid in the candy store. Can't get what you want, so you got to whine.
God, man. So I don't know here, man. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Well.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm telling you right now, my boy Travis Benjamin's making this team. I know we haven't talked about that
Joey's
yet.
been on social media letting me know about Travis. I ain't going to argue with you.
He's coming. He's coming, I'm telling you. Dude, people sleeping on my boy, man. People are sleeping on him. Hey, that guy can play receiver, too. You think he's just fast and that's it?
No.
You on crack.
Kyle loves him. Man. Yeah, he played with. He worked with Kyle before, so he doesn't have to learn anything. He just has to learn a new verbiage or whatever. They may expand it on some plays and some things like that. But he knows what he's doing when it comes to Kyle. So I ain't gonna argue with anybody about Travis Benjamin. I'll wait because Richie James. I don't think Kyle likes Richie.
Richie James is people. I like Richie James, but then at the same time I don't like him because people always talk about, he's like number 5 in return yards and this and that, and I'm like, yeah, but 8 out of 10 punt returns or kick returns go right over his head. He don't touch it. So of course that average is going to be high if you don't touch it. 8 times out of 10.
Yeah. And plus we got about 4 guys that can return, so he's not essential. So if Travis could come in and add more, then you're right. It probably would be Benjamin over Richie. And as a matter of fact, I think you're really right when I think about it. Benjamin's put in so much more time and effort in numbers that you'd have to move Richie behind him. Of course, I don't know how high Richie is on the chart either, though.
But what I'm saying is Benjamin could be that dynamic special teams player that we don't have with his speed. But also another thing that I like is, did you ever get a chance to watch him with the Chargers as just purely a receiver?
No, I just heard about him.
Put a Chargers game on.
Yeah,
every time I put a Chargers game, this guy was blowing right by the safeties and leaving them in the dust and catching long touchdowns. He's not a bad receiver, is what I'm trying to say. Is he can play receiver. And people are saying, he's just a camp body. He's a camp body. I was like, no,
that was me.
He's not a camp body. Yeah, I know.
I still
know. Bro.
We got so many guys, though, Joey. That's why you look. Okay, let me name. Okay, you look. Of course, Ayuk and Debo are going to make the team, right? And you also know probably
Bourne will make it.
Bourne's going to make the team. That's 3. 4. There's a 4th. Trent Taylor. I tell you, I just don't see him getting cut. Kyle loves that guy. That's 4.
Yeah.
So are they going to keep 6 or 7 guys?
Here's the problem with Trent Taylor though, is he has a back issue. So not saying that he wouldn't make the team, but how do you know that he takes one shot to the back and he's not put back on IR?
Well, same
how
thing
do
you
you
said
know
about
that
Jalen
back's
Hurd.
fully healed?
And I was about to add Hurd to my.
That's a question. That's a question mark that we don't know. Is what I'm saying, Ronbo.
Well,
that's why you have. So that's what I'm saying. So you can't really say, he's making the team. Yeah, we could sit there with hope and say, yeah, he'll be there. But at the end of the day, injury always plagues us. Though that's the thing.
You know what?
Trent
doesn't worry me as bad.
Stay healthy.
Trent doesn't worry me as bad as Dante Pettis. Most
Dante
likely
Pettis,
makes this team.
Dante Pettis shows no effort. That's the problem. He don't care about getting better.
It didn't seem
he doesn't put that effort like Kendrick Bourne's and working out. The people work on their craft, right? People say, you draft a guy. He may not I know you don't really think about rookies come in there and be this great thing
Debo?
From day one, but
but
what I'm
saying
you
can see his effort.
But what I'm saying is you're supposed to get better, right? Year 1 to year 2 to year 3, you get better, right? George Kittle broke the tight end record in year 2, right? Dante Pettis came in year 2 and was like, I can't play football no more. Yeah. He just gave up.
I'm scared they're gonna hit me. Joey, we're out of time, Joey. It's good to hear from you. When are you going to get some more time off?
You too, buddy.
Yeah, we got to get together again.
Right now, the thing is that with my job, I work swing shift. So, I work from 2 in the afternoon to 10:30 at night. So, by the time you do your shows, I'm at work till 10:30. So, by the time you're done, it's I'm still working. So,
in that case, I want to make a note. If we do see you, that means you're probably at work, and we should get you in this right away because you're on a break or something. All right.
If you want, I can maybe tweet you. So my lunches are from 6 to 6:30. That's my 30-minute lunch. But I could tweet you if you want. If you're on,
and let us
say,
know.
hey, I
We'll
got
keep your
30
heads up.
minutes.
All right.
Okay.
We'll do that then.
All right.
Because we
Sounds
just
good,
can't
man.
do without Joey Mahoney forever.
You never could do without Joey Mahoney.
I know.
I'll be here.
All right, Joey. Have a good night, fam.
All right. You too, buddy. You be safe.
Thanks. I'm going to do my best. You too. All right.
All right. Thank you.
And,
Niners.
Hey. And I see Aguero. He says, damn, the agents, I'm so worried now. Thanks a lot. No! I know. Worry. Because I didn't think DeForest Buckner was going anywhere. It was my last. If somebody says, I bet you $2,000 or $3,000 right now, DeForest Buckner is out of here. Boy, add a couple more thousand to it. Let's go $5,000 straight up. I'd have been crying my ass off. Took my money, took my defensive tackle. I'm standing there talking crazy, didn't know what I was talking about, and Buckner's out of here. So you know what? I don't doubt nothing. I don't want to believe it, but I can't even. Alex! Oh. Alex.
Hey, how's it going, Ronbo?
Alex, you asked me that question, and I got to tell you the truth. It's not going well. Alex, I came in to talk football tonight in order to make myself feel better, and everybody that wanted to join me, we can all feel better together. Somebody comes in and talks about George Kittle got $14 million off. He said no. What? And
we got to be positive.
That's what I'm saying.
Positive.
Yeah.
Let me say this. If you look at the one thing that anybody, whether they're in the NFL, fans of the NFL, you look at Kyle Shanahan's resume, and there's never any consistency with the players that are in, game out, year in, year out, but their success.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson was a mainstay.
Yep.
But if you go to Cleveland, they had a solid year on offense. Guess who's their tight end? You don't know. I mean, you don't know.
I know. It was supposed to be the joke you got hurt. You know what? Good one's funny. Hey, trivia question for anybody in the chat. Who was Cleveland's tight end? That's funny. Ah, man.
But the thing is it doesn't matter who Kyle Shanahan gets on offense. He makes it work.
That's a good point.
And it's not like 18th ranked, 19th ranked, 17th ranked, like a spotty offense. It's consistently good or great. If he's got weapons, it's great. If he has no weapons, it's good. It's
good.
It's right around 10 or better. And I think the thing is with Adam Peters and John Lynch, and Robert Saleh, they have a very, very obvious. It's obvious that they have very specific attributes and ability. They want fierce players. They want players that are confident and stuff like that. Reuben Foster, he might not have worked out, but I tell you what, he was confident. He was a hitter. And he gave us some really fun things to watch for a few weeks. But
he could play. He was going to get better too.
I mean, the defensive side they draft well. Offensive side they draft well. I think that you got to kind of just roll with the punches because we've not been used to this. We're used to giving our star players a contract every time. I mean, but this is a new NFL. The NFL is slowly transitioning into an NBA atmosphere where anything goes, anything can happen. A team can be from the bottom to the top in 1 year. The roster can change halfway through a season. It's different. But I think the Niners are one of the teams that, are very consistent in the fact is they're, each game, each month that goes by, you always notice progress, and it's because of the tandem they got in Shanahan and Lynch. You got to trust these guys because they've given you no reason to trust them, not to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe like Kyle Shanahan is still a young coach. You know what I mean? There's
And he
still,
can learn. There's some things he
you
can
know,
learn. True. He can grow.
there's always, you know, there's also tough breaks that happen. You know what I mean? Some of us might be ticky tack on that George Kittle push off, and you know, at the 7-yard line or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is what it is. But at the same time, it's like you can't have a short memory on certain things. It's like, what did the announcers always say? The right play was called, the execution was not perfect. And you know, a coach can only do so much from the sideline. He can't go out there and do a 30-second rewind and change it all up. It is what it is. If the right play was called, the right play was called. Things happen. Players make plays.
It is.
So I think the thing is, what we'll see from now, or since he's gotten there and John Lynch has gotten there, is growth. It's continuous growth, and that's something that, when we had Jim Harbaugh, we spiked, but there was a lot of headlines, you know what I mean? And the thing is, there's always a lot of mystery. You never knew, it kind of felt like, even though things were going great, it's like, is this going to last? Is this going to keep going on? It just feels weird. It just doesn't feel, something feels off. And then all of a sudden you hear about how dysfunctional it really was with Jim Harbaugh in the front office, and things were always, going bad. And with this, I think we got a front office and a coach that are extremely honest.
Because Trent's not the
extremely honest,
going in the opposite direction as a team. So yeah, you're right. They're a cohesive unit, and they're football guys, which I like because they actually know what they're doing and talking about. And so, yeah, we can trust them. It's just it's a trauma, though, to all of a sudden you open up your phone or whatever your device is. George Kittle traded for 2 first-round picks to whomever. What?
Hey,
we talked about
this out.
but we didn't believe it was going to really freaking happen.
It takes some really, really gutsy people to be able to look at somebody that they love and watch them potentially go. But when you think about the team, how big the team is, and you make that decision, you got to respect that, because they're not just going all in on one player without losing the vision. They're keeping the vision and still saying, like, hey man, whatever way this goes, whether it's you stay or go,
we're still going to come out
and
ahead.
love you.
Yeah. Alex, awesome points, man. Let me talk to you tomorrow if you get some time.
Yes, I'll call him about the same time, brother.
Mike Tess. There I am. Alex, be looking for you tomorrow, fam. All right. Lost you there for a second. Lost me for a second. Yeah, that's the thing. And here's the thing. Because when you look at what happened with DeForest Buckner, everybody's crying, alligator tears flowing like crazy. We formed a river. And what happens in the draft? We picked up what just may make us smile soon. Hey, here he is, just in time, too. We need him tonight so badly. It is Chill Pill Phil. Phil, come on in, Phil.
All right, Ronbo.
You ready to shed some light on this? I'm listening, and I can't wait to hear what you got to say on this matter. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, George was going to be a 49er, no doubt, for a long time. Let's put it this way. His agent wants him to get paid wide receiver money, and that's already been lost in the NFL with, who's that, tight end that played for the Saints, and then he went
Graham.
to Graham.
Yeah.
That was already lost. George is a tight end, right? So the Niners have all the leverage. He's going to make $2 million this next year. He's going to make, if they franchise tag him, $10 million. And then if they franchise tag him again, it's $12 million.
You're right.
And if they franchise tag him again, it's 14. What?
They could save money. Oh, Phil, that's it. You franchise tag him year after year, and you save money.
You think George is going to sit out football for 4 years?
No.
And not get paid at all?
Whoa. See, Phil, I don't know. I thought about that a little while ago. This thought came through my head and went out. You're right. Franchise tag him and you save money.
So, I mean, that's the leverage the Niners have. So if he's rejecting $14 million, his agent thinks he's a wide receiver money. He ain't going to get that, and he ain't going to get that from the rest of the league. They're not going to expand the price tag of a tight end. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Look at Phil.
So he's just playing the game. He's playing the game, but eventually he's going to sign the $14 million deal, and it'll be done.
Because you're right.
Don't worry about
it. If I'm Parag, listen, we could save money. All I got to do is franchise tag him. He gets 10. He gets 11. Well, even 11 million this year. That's $3 million less than what you're asking for. Next year it goes up a little bit more. How long do you want to play this game? $14 million is a good deal. You can play hardball.
After the 3 franchise tags and this year. So, I mean, go ahead. Try to sit out 3-4 years and then get a contract. You're not going to get it. So you might as well sign.
Kevin McKelligan says you're wrong. Why is he wrong? That is actually right. You franchise tag him, it's less than what he's being offered.
All he can do is sit out. All he can do is sit out. And then he makes nothing.
Yeah, because you don't sign the franchise
tag. It's not going to happen. And can you see George Kittel sitting out and watching his team play?
No
way.
He wants to play.
No way.
He's dying to play.
He's going to call his agent and say, "You're fired."
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? And listen, I'll make my own deal. I'm going to take that 14, and I don't have to give you your 10%. Say goodbye. I don't have nothing. No. I'm hanging up. Bink.
Yep. Exactly. So you know what? He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. If the Niners offered him 14, you got to take it.
And Darren Lewis does point out
that good money.
You're going to be franchised for 2 years. But you know what? I still say George is not going to go for 2 years on a franchise tag and then on a third year. You know what? I feel you got to. I think you got. There is a whole card there.
The rules. You can't complain about the rules. He signed the CBA.
That's true.
Okay?
It's
done.
And George wants to play the 49ers. He's already made that clear. He told Kyle's wife
I know
he likes being a 49er.
I think his agent is just playing games to see where the Niners would go. But eventually it's going to come down to they're going to accept what the Niners offer them.
You know what?
So don't worry about it.
49ers
relax.
We'll give them 15. And that's our final offer. Listen, you're playing games in a place where you're not going to win. You're not going to get over $15 million from any other. There's not another GM in the league who's going to play $15 million. There's cap for everybody.
No way for a tight end. Because then they explode the tight end market, and then everybody has to pay. Kelsey has to get paid over 15, and then, it's going to bust every team in the league. They don't want to do that.
Cynthia comes in and quickly corrects, no, the tag may use, hey, how many years did Cousins get tagged? Didn't he get tagged 3 years?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yes! Okay. I think we're okay, Phil. Phil, I wish you'd have called me earlier.
I'm not worried about it.
I think I was stressing out a little too much.
And I think George wants to play. He can't sit back and let his agent ruin his career. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see that from George. I just don't see it.
Especially the way he loves to play.
So he wants to play. He loves to hit.
That's right. I forgot about
You
the
know what?
option.
Relax. We're just going to work out.
Breathe.
This is a mind deal.
Yes. Hey, matter of fact, we might get good news tomorrow, Phil. It's Monday. We bring some good news.
All right. Ronbo, take care.
You too, Phil. Thanks, Phil, for calling in tonight, too.
All right. See you later.
All right, Phil.
Bye.
Woo! I'd forgotten all about that.
All right, later. Bye.
Night, Phil. And DJ Malone says 6 years, $15 million a year. Ooh. Hey, that's what you do. You come off the 4-year stuff. Now, he won't take that because you know what you do? You don't want to take too long of a deal because the fact is you may be blowing up even further and you're tied to that deal.
So what's this?
16 for 5. Hey, James, come on in, James. James out in that Garden State of New Jersey. Oh, James may have passed out. Huh? It's getting late. Let's see if Naj is ready. Hey, Naj. And Naj gonna get back to us a couple of days. Yeah, man, I was out, man. You know what I'm saying, man. I heard y'all looking for me. Shirley. Shaleo.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Shaleo. Man, you know, to start off tonight, I wanted to talk about something pleasant. I said, you know what, guys? If Kyle gets his weaponry back, this team is going to be gunning down everything in sight. And then all of a sudden, somebody named Dre had to bring up George Kittle. I was trying to avoid that subject on purpose. And now, after going through about an hour of what are we gonna do? I'm in charge. I got it's not about 50 million jobs. And now all of a sudden you know, Shaleo, let me stop crying and whining and allow you. Shaleo, what are your feelings on this and more?
Feeling is, how about them cowgirls? How about them lambs? How about them seacocks? How about them Arizona play card Cardinals? And last but not least, how about them Oakland, Las Vegas, Trader Raider Joes?
But Shaleo, you know, man, we got to get used to this though, Shaleo. You know, winning teams, they have these little issues, and we are now considered one of the best, if not the best. So, you know, we're going to have players that we depend upon suddenly saying, I got to get paid, y'all. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I got to go. If you can't give me that green, I get to get lane on out of here. You know, man, everybody's going to go Huggy Bear on us. So, well, you know, Buckner's gone.
But
Sanders gone.
But first, I would like to say rest in peace to Floyd.
Yeah.
And I'm praying for his family.
That's so... I keep having that picture in my mind. I can't stand it. Poor guy. That was so sad. But anyway. Yeah.
Let's get down to 49er football. I'm a fan of the badge. I've always been a fan of the badge. Players come and go. I'm always repping that Niner badge. And you know what? The fan in me, I want Kittel to stay. And he is a very important player in our team. He was our team last year, man. You know, he made a big impact. You know, he does everything.
Yeah.
He does everything. And in my opinion, pay him whatever he wants. But also, we should have got this done this summer. We should have got him a deal this year.
You mean last
Ronbo.
summer?
And I meant the off season. This off season, we should have got a deal. Right when Buckner left, we should have paid him.
I think they were trying to. It just wasn't. You know how the 49ers are. They do a lot of things that you don't hear about. And I think they were trying to get something done. Because I don't know when they offered that $14 million. Dre pointed that out a little while ago. He talked to Grant Cohn. They gave him that offer a while back.
You know, sometimes, you know, I know Kittel, he wants to stay in be a Niner, but sometimes it's the agents, Ronbo. The agents kind of mess it up because they need a little bit of, you know, more ching in their pocket too.
Yeah, of course, 10% is, from what I'm reading, the agent gets. So, you know, he stands to have a nice payday if he can hike that price up higher and higher. You know. So.
But whatever deal he takes, he needs to take it.
Yeah.
Ronbo, he needs to take it.
Yeah.
Not gonna get into him. He knows he needs to do better. And Ronbo, that's all I have for tonight. Everyone be respectful to everyone. Respect everyone's what they have to say. I see all the time. I hear all the time. Nine Empire fighting. Let's debate. Let's not fight within our own base. Respect each other's opinions. And shout out to the Niner Empire. Thank you for the platform, Ronbo. You have a good night.
Yeah, you're welcome too, fam. Looking forward to tomorrow, Slim. Have a good night.
You too, Ronbo.
Thanks, man.
Wash your hands.
Always.
Hit those likes.
All right. Yeah, man, I tell you. Man. So, as I say, a new week, and maybe George and his outlaw agent will stop it and realize that $14 million that's not bad. And if I am John and Kyle, I say, okay, listen, you know what? 15. Listen, before you say another word, there's not another team in the NFL that's going to give George over 15. He's just going to come back with, how do you know that? You have no idea what I'm capable of doing. I do know that I can franchise tag him and burn down everything you're talking about for 2 to 3 years. So you sit here and talk to me as if I don't know what's going on? Are you serious? All right. George wants to play football, by the way. How long do you think he's going to play this game with you just so you can up the price? He's not stupid. I can get on the phone with George right now and tell him what's going on here, and he'll say, okay, well, forget that. I want to play. So you would call. I'd mess with him I'd have that dude in there. As he's walking out the door, I'd be still talking smack. You know what? There comes a time you have to let the agent know that you don't have my player's best interests. You're a selfish, money-grubbing, you're a blood-sucking parasite. Yeah, start getting into name calling. I know I'd get mad because you're talking about my star tight end here. I'm giving you a best deal in the market right now. Between you and I, we're making this difficult for the next tight end, and the next GM is going to be a little annoyed, and they don't want to see this happen any more than I do. So that means the next tight end, big-time tight end that comes in, is not even as good as George. He has to get paid the industry fee. So it's 15 plus because of you and your nonsense. Hey, get over here. I'm talking to you. And, he's leaving, right? So, yeah. You just got to know, man. Anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow, fam. I'll be looking for you tomorrow. And hopefully the world will become a little more healed between now and tomorrow. Pray for that, fam. We all need that. Hey, hit that like though, fam. I'll see you tomorrow. Niners!